Hello and welcome to the Kobold Cafe. This is Friday night. I'm pretending I'm Colin. We're playing The Frozen Gods in GURPS 4th edition. I'm Luke the GM. We have got Tara.
Hey, I'm Tara. I play Etho, and you and Colin do better intros than both I do. So whenever I GM him, it's a freaking train wreck.
Both me and Colin do better intros than both Tara and Tara.
Shut up.
Sorry.
You can see. You already see, right? This is why I can't do intros. I'm a good role player, but just this stuff, bleh.
Yep. The words is falling over their tongue.
Yeah.
We've got James.
Hey, I'm James. I play Archie, and I did good intro.
You did good intro. You did good intro. Good. Tara did good intro.
Yeah.
Everoth, do good intro.
Hey, this is Everett, and I do not host a campaign yet, but look for it soon.
Boshit should host a campaign in this game. Pull out some graph paper.
Etho would be terrible at role playing.
Do you reckon?
She'd get so mad, she'd flip over the table and go, "This game's stupid," and storm off.
Mm-hmm. You'd be like, I kill everybody in the inn. Your party members would be like, no, Etho.
Butcher would be like, roll the dice. Sorry, Ito, you fail.
Gotcha would probably cheat at the dice.
And last but not least, we've got Lee.
Hi, I'm Lee. I play Lady Katya, and apparently she would probably cheat if she was the role player. So it's a good thing Roll20 rolls the dice for us.
Roll 20 cheats. But
It super does.
it's neither here nor there.
All automated rollers cheat. They don't know how to automate rolls. It's randomness in programming is nigh on impossible.
The big one I watch for in Roll20 is if it's the same numbers repeated like 3 times in a row in the same order.
That has to do, I don't know if Roll20 pulls off of like atoms or lasers, or there's any number of things you can pull random numbers off of services out there. Some are more dependable than others.
They claim to have some kind of circumsolar particle accelerator, but I'm not convinced.
I'd like to press doubt on that.
They can
But
apparently
yeah,
produce antimatter with it, but instead they use it to make dice rolls. Always a good choice. Well,
but when she's not cheating at dice, she's trying to get married.
always a good
At least-
choice.
To not creepy dude.
So,
I mean, that ship has hopefully sailed.
Or Ito.
Etho is creepy, dude.
Etho is not the worst option by far.
Now.
I feel like your brother's probably the worst option.
Ugh.
Especially seeing as he's like 10.
Not unheard of in this time period.
Yeah.
Well, last time there was the winding up of the festival, culminating in a grand ball. There was merrymaking. There was the viewing of the sky at night as the festivities were drawing to a close.
And an asteroid.
And then a star fell from the sky. Seemed to land atop Mount Thanto. It cleared the clouds. It was quite beautiful. And then the boom hit.
Bada boom.
Big
Big
bang.
bada boom.
I did rewatch it. I did rewatch it.
Nice.
Multi-pass. Yeah, she knows
She
it's a
knows it's a multi-pass.
And I think the screaming begins.
Yeah, I think so. Once we pick ourselves back up and stare abjectly in that direction.
Stop the Nio.
Just a few at once at first, but then picking up. You can hear rushing around in the city below.
Oh my god, it is about to turn into a meat grinder.
Who else was up on the tower with you?
Watch it and
Besides,
Science Man.
I recall Stiga. No one else, right?
No one else, unless Mr. Other, uh, um, unless Mr. Each Doran is up here with us.
Not at the moment.
I think you somehow were able to ditch them.
Stiga's being helped back up to his feet by whoever it was. It's just like,
Archie.
What the hell was that?
jeez,
Archie, what was that?
did all of you just see?
I have a question. I just came off of like a 2-week binge of researching all sorts of shit. Did that strike a bell?
Hmm.
Very good point.
While you
know,
ponder that,
it kind of
I
did.
mean, I've just been like nose deep in the texts. I'm sorry, balls deep in the text.
you were scrolling fucking scrolls.
Figure speech.
Yes, Archie. Bro, I've not got enough layers of metaphor ready.
I think
keep it.
I think the goddess of herself calls Sky.
Is the mountain still there?
Yeah, it was still there. It was just smoking.
Stiga's like, I see the outline. Yeah. But
I feel like we're gonna have to update that map.
nah.
Lita Katja, we must pack things and go.
You hear footsteps running up the stairs to the top of the tower, and Hanley appears. Where is he?
Katya's sort of still staring in the direction of the blast.
Which one's Hatley?
The pretty boy.
The young one.
Okay, Ichidoran Hatley. Okay.
Ichidoran. Yeah, he's panting when he gets to the top. But he's like, oh, Lady Katya, Bishop Smith.
Sir Henley?
Ichidoran.
What was that noise?
Mountain blow up.
Katya points.
He like goes running up over to the edge and squints in the distance. He can make out the smoke as well.
You said it was kind of glowing too.
Yeah, I think there is a dim glow at the top of the mountain.
Something fell from the sky.
A wyvern? A dragon?
No. Star. Goddess of herself called Star.
Is that the highest peak in the area? He's looking around, trying to squint at the dark mountain range.
Yeah, it's
Well, the second
That's-
highest.
Thanato.
That's the peak you climbed.
Yes.
This can't be coincidence.
That's why we go. Come, get things and go.
There's more like a bit of panting as the older suitor reaches the top of the steps.
Ugh,
Awesome.
this guy.
She's like, That explosion. Hanley, do you see anything? Smith?
Yeah. It's Thanato.
The mountain.
Ugh.
A star fell burns. And Archie, this is about where I think I'm ready to tell you some metaphor.
Okay. Hit me with your best shot!
Some of Arate's angels went to sleep in the heavens,
Ah,
where it was safer than sleeping in the mountains.
okay. then yeah,
When
fucking
when the angels went to the heavens, it looked like stars rising from the surface of the earth and travel into the sky, and they could still be seen glinting for many years every season.
okay. So this is the opposite. Fucking believe another angel just fell from heaven. So either this is a good thing or a really bad thing.
We already had too many.
Well, yeah, but it could.
What's going on downstairs?
There's a panic. An emergency meeting being chaired immediately. Your father's looking for you. He's very worried.
Everyone just want talk here. Talk, talk, talk. Do nothing.
Thing is, there's a lot of us, and if we do stuff before we discuss what we do, nobody does the right thing. And if we muster everybody into one direction, we can have a chance of setting it up better.
Blank
or-
stare.
Both Oscar Hanley and Sir Eldred Bones both speak in unison. I will lead an expedition. I will lead an expedition. At
Neither
dawn.
of you are going to lead an expedition because
Mm,
nobody is getting to the top of Thanato. It is a waste of lives.
no, let them go up.
Gotcha, chuckles.
You managed it with this old man, Smith.
Yeah,
Before
good
the
point.
storms.
Well, good
It's on
point,
fire.
bitch.
It's on fire right now.
Make it warmer. Strong men. They do it.
Listen to the girl.
Alright. Yeah, I think at that Archie just puts his hands up and like, I tried.
Bishop Smith, I believe that we discussed something we need to look into shortly.
Yeah, I think our timetable might have actually accelerated on that. And I don't think that that is a phrase that would have been used in this time period.
Maybe you could see to no. She sighs and doesn't do anything.
Burns and Hanley have started talking to each other. It sounds heated. What's the quickest way there?
I will start describing the long way around.
Could the coast be taken? My ship is docked at Winemouth.
Oh, you've got a ship?
It keeps getting worse.
We both got ships.
Ah.
Can I talk to my guide briefly? I need to. She attempts to pull Etho off to the side of the tower.
Hanley's he does a deep bow. He says, "Yes, milady. We must go and join the meeting that is occurring."
I'll come with you. I should be there.
We'll be right there. Just I need like 15 seconds.
They nod. Eldred Burns cracks his back and starts walking downstairs. Sir Oscar Hanley does a backflip.
I'm doing that nonchalant thing where I'm like whistling, pretending I'm not doing something bad, but I totally am doing something bad.
Nice. Etho, I need to tell everybody something.
And what that?
And it sounds like it can't be that there's something that you want us to look into because it's important. Because they're going to want to know what.
We need go to Northnch. Dunsbury?
They're going to want to know why. or what's there. And you don't want people to know that, right?
Look side to side. Yeah, no. No tell.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to try to phrase this as like it's the bishop's mission, and he has something he wants to look into there. Because they'll probably be okay with it if it's his idea. If it's yours, they're going to have all kinds of questions.
Yes, you lie better than me.
Okay, we should go catch up.
Yes. And I will go. Catch up. And I'll grab Botcha and like, come.
The old man's
We're not
half asleep.
grab.
He's full of wine and mead and pie.
He
No.
also gets to listen to secret conversations because he's old enough that we forget.
He's sitting around and he's doing that like after the Witch of the Waste gets dociled.
Yeah.
Staring blankly at you.
He totally heard all of it, but nobody.
Nobody pays attention to Obachi. But yes, he will follow and also bring the bottle of wine with him. As he's about to leave, he just stretches up and picks the bottle and goes, being dragged by Ethan.
It rolled over when the shockwave hit, but it's still got most of its contents in it. Smith, as you're entering the main hall where quite a few of the fancier people who were at this affair are gathered, they all turn and look at you immediately. Bishop! What does this mean? What is it?
I believe another angel just fell from heaven. And I'm not sure that is a good thing for us.
Nonsense, someone says. Angels are Arate's mouthpiece. They do his will. They are a blessing, surely. Surely we have done nothing to deserve his smite.
Ah! I say as I look around.
Someone's monocle falls in the shot glass. I'd never.
After what I've seen on Crusade, I wouldn't be so sure of that.
Kale interrupts you almost, given the way that this conversation's going. He says, should we be mounting an expedition to investigate, or should we be holding off? You seem clear that this is a thing of danger.
I think it is a thing of danger, and I think... And I know that our standard military approach to this problem is not going to work.
Burns speaks up. There's a reason Smith was sent back here. Sorry, Smith, but it's true. You don't have the mindset. I don't care what the weather or terrain's like. Hanley and I could have a troop of 40 men there in a fortnight.
Aye, and in a fortnight, you could have 40 frozen men on the side of Mount Thanato.
Just someone else like scoffs. Someone does say, "Aye, 'tis no season. Winter's coldest is upon us for the next month. If you're making an expedition, better to wait till March."
By all means, if you desire to go, then go. But I warn you, we barely made it. and we were a small. Look over at Botchet.
Yeah, Botchet, Katya, and Ethos.
Somewhat nimble expedition group, and we had a complementing team of experienced and inexperienced climbers. A large party right now is not going to survive. The only reason I say this is that I wish to see minimal loss of life.
My lords, if I might make a suggestion,
Your father's, like, giving you devil eyes, but Kale says, "Speak, Lady Katya."
perhaps a force could be sent to the north, but merely to the Frostvale to reinforce it.
This should occur, says someone else, a regular at court. It's
In the
go on. Sorry.
in the meantime, my guard and Bishop Smith were discussing something that they might look into. Perhaps a smaller expedition can be authorized for that.
If it's
She looks to Archie, basically throwing him under the bus.
if it's to help with this, then yes, granted. Anything you need, Smith.
Look over at Katya with those wide eyes and kind of thin lips and like, yeah, what do we need?
Perhaps one of those ships that was offered could save us some time.
Hanley and Burns both say, "Aye, you could have my ship." And Hanley's like, "I don't think she's in need of your boat, Burns. That old wreck." Burns says, the choice will be yours, Lady Katya. You may inspect them at your desire." And then Jacobus speaks up finally. The only place we shall be commissioning a vessel is immediately back to Pitford.
I was hitting tab. I'm like, why isn't this working?
This ain't no tabletop simulator.
Yeah.
Yes, Papa, but the expedition is important anyways, even if I'm not on it.
Side glance. Narrow eyes.
Bishop Archibald,
Yes, Vicar.
do you recall anything else on the text about these angels? I know them. Some, at least, have names. Blah. Did this angel had a name or any representation upon this earth of his presence?
Too little
Yeah.
information, but there's records of lots of angels in them texts.
Yeah, there's lots of angels, but I would be entirely unable to take a guess at who this might be.
Perhaps if we check more on those texts, we can find what he is a harbinger of, and at least save more people if this would mean a disaster that we must prepare. Wouldn't everybody think?
If the church has knowledge of these events, then all its help is accepted. Burns and Hanley are frowning and looking inquisitively at botch it. Kale speaks up. It's too late to be discussing this. The king is asleep. He slept through the explosion and we shan't be waking him. He's weak. Prince Sigitas is in Winemouth. We shall be writing to him. Everyone, get rest. Return tomorrow. Or at least notify me of your plans. And don't do anything to get yourselves killed. He looks over at Burns and Hanley. Jacobus is walking over to the group of you that have gathered together. People start leaving the room. Anyone got anything they wanted to shout at everyone before they all filter out?
I have many things I want to shout at them, but I'm restraining myself.
If the two male suitors are filtering out, Kati has something to say, but if they're lingering, then
They'll
not yet.
linger.
I do want to go over to him and, be friendly. Like, look, I disagree with what you want to do, but like, hey, I don't mean you ill will.
To Burns and Hanley.
Yeah.
Because also these are your friends. Like you go way back with these guys.
Yeah, like I fought with both of them. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Burns is notoriously stubborn as well.
But yeah, like I say, just go be friendly with them.
But the Duke is looking quite angry at you.
The
Archie.
Duke?
Yeah. What's this plan you've got that involves my daughter going to Dunterbury, of all places? It's not even a pimple on the map.
Just something we gotta look into.
But by way of Dunterbury, Father, there's some locals that might have more information that you'd like to question.
And your daughter has proven to be quite the diplomat.
His eyebrows. I was going to ask for the thing that I'd already got.
I can roll again though. That was for something earlier.
Oh, okay. Yes, please. It's
exact same, but not exact same.
He nods. Okay. And you're happy to help with this matter, Mr. Smith? Bishop, Your Holiness.
Yes, Lord.
I see. That is most reassuring. He nods. I think it's quite clear to most of you that he seems... It's like he's grasped the answer to a question that wasn't being asked. He's entirely misinformed of the situation. He thinks he knows exactly why you want to go to Dunterby.
But why would that be?
You don't know.
Okay.
But he thinks he knows. And he thinks Katya just told him. Very well.
Katya smirks.
I was going to suggest that we leave this very morning, Katya. I've had news again that is very worrying, and if we can leave by Winemouth and see, then I think our journey would be much safer. Which of your boats is faster and which can leave sooner? Burns frowns and looks at Hanley, who was grinning. It's like, I have a new design of the Keem shipsmiths. It is much quicker than Burns's old galley. And it's ready to go at a moment's notice. The Duke kind of nods. So we'll return to Pitford. Very well.
But we would all need to travel to Weymouth anyways, correct?
Correct. We should get what rest we can and depart as early in the morning as possible.
Nods.
Hanley says, I'll head for Weymouth now. I'll get the ship ready.
As Hanley's about to leave, I'm gonna actually pull him aside for a moment.
Okay.
Ham, I need sheath and cloth. And I give him like the I need it right now kind of gesture.
He like, turns out his pockets, essentially.
I mean, he has both those items on him.
He does, that's true. He'll take out his fancy dagger and, like...
No, sword sheath.
He, fiddles with that, unbelts his thingy, passes it to you, and then pulls out a handkerchief. Is this
No,
enough cloth?
I like shrug, I like gesture to his head gesture to his cape. I assume he has a fancy cape.
He does have a bit of a cape, like one of those half capes going on. He'll unbutton all that. Please
Thank
be
you.
careful with these.
Okay, and legitimately, I'd say it in that exact way, and they go later.
What do you need them for?
Things.
When
As
will
start
I...
walking off. I'm walking off when he asks when he's gonna get him back.
He just frowns and heads over to collect his overfurs from where he'd left them. And disappears into the darkness outside.
Ditakacha.
I did want to take advantage of your absence briefly.
Okay, go ahead.
While the two of them are off away, and hopefully while Papa is briefly not attacking, Katya is going to turn to Sir Burns and say, Sir Burns, I wanted to be sure you didn't have the wrong impression. You are in no way disinvited from this trip. Your offer of your ship was very generous. But that was not the only reason you were welcome.
He nods slowly. I shall meet you in Winemouth also. I'll be ready to depart in the morning. I shall watch for you at the wine gate.
She smiles and nods.
Jacobus says, I'll be grateful for your company. And then Jacobus says, now, Katya, we must prepare. Tell the servants what things you'll need packing, and what have you.
Mm-hmm. Are we traveling to... Well, never mind. Of course.
Very good. Well, I don't think there's much else to be said this evening.
Except that I'm gonna be disappearing for like the entire evening and re-arrive in the morning.
Nice. I'm totally done taking advantage of your absence, so feel free.
Lita Katya.
Itakatya. And
Yes.
you get horse and ride with me to tree.
To tree?
Yes.
Any tree? Any tree?
No. Tree. I know.
We need to pack and leave in the morning.
Fine. Luke, could I run to that tree? You know the one I'm talking about.
you could, yeah.
And then
I
get
mean,
back by morning?
if you say fine, she goes, no, I mean, can we get there and back?
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So I imagine Lita Katya heads home, directs the servants what to pack, says you're
Exactly.
going to bed.
By way of home, she basically says, hey, we're leaving. Can you pack our stuff? And then
Climbs out
heads
the
off
window.
with Eva. Pretty much. And yeah, we'll grab a couple. 2 horses or just one? Can you ride at this point?
No. Just one.
1 horse.
Smith and Botchet, presumably you're packing up your own things elsewhere and getting rest, or...
Yeah, if you need a packing skill, it's on my skill list.
That's for like
Bo-
packing horses and stuff, but yes.
And
Well, in
Botcha
case we
will probably-
need.
Botcha will probably find that servants actually show up and start helping him pack,
Yeah,
even if he didn't ask for it.
they would.
Oh, they're so nice.
They're paid.
Watch it still appreciates it.
A few of these will be... In fact, yeah, you'll probably be having at least one lady in waiting, is that what they called? Maid servant, at least, and then...
Handmade is. I have it labeled as handmade on my sheet.
Yeah. You'll have at least one handmaid while travelling, I'm sure. And your dad'll have his guy and a couple of guards, at least. General people carrying stuff, driving horses,
Yep.
coming up the rear with your tent poles.
So I'm currently paying the sort of job salary for an animal driver, a porter, and a servant.
Radical. Smith? Are you going
Yes?
back to the cathedral?
Yeah, I'm gonna start loading up a horse and getting some supplies ready. Getting ready to travel.
The clerk would appear at some point. Bishop Smith! Thank God you're here.
Yes?
Are you leaving, sir?
Something to look into.
Do you plan on being gone long? He looks at, like, the supplies you're packing.
Shouldn't be gone too long, but I'm not sure where the journey might go.
Best you hurry along.
But who's in charge when I'm gone? Who's the ranking official?
It will be the rector.
Damn it. All right.
Isn't he not in town at the moment?
He's not, that's true.
Yeah.
Which either means you need to send for him or it's somebody else.
No, remember, he has to be out of town for protection.
He is scared to come back still. Because I don't think you've sent him a letter to say that those guys had left yet either.
Yeah, I think I've just like blown off correspondence with the rector. Like,
You've got like a pile of letters from him that you've not even opened yet.
You may have run out of a justifiable excuse, though.
yeah.
The clerk like laughs nervously as he realizes that I believe I'd be in charge, Your Holiness.
Oh. Well,
Good luck.
I trust the cathedral to your good hands.
And the swords? This explosion's not going to rally them again? The
What?
sky-
No, they all packed up and left. Like, they're not here.
Oh. Oh. When did this happen? That's marvelous news.
Oh, it happened like a week before the festival.
It's just like... Buh.
Like, you haven't noticed how they haven't shown back up for like 3 weeks?
I have been rather busy with the ceremonies, but
Well, yeah, and then before that, we were all, cooped up in the basement for a while.
it's just like... good luck on your journey, Bishop. I believe I have very much work to do if you're leaving.
Well, I believe your hands are very capable of it.
He picks up the pile of unopened letters from the rector on his way out.
I'll actually put like a hand on his shoulder and say, actually, I think you are much more qualified for this than I.
He just like laughs nervously again. You can see he's already started sweating nervously. Like he's probably gonna have to go and use the toilet and do a right sloppy poop soon.
I just want to see this episode, like the spin-off episode where it's just him and
Filler
it's
episode,
everything
the
he can-
clerk has to run the cathedral for
yeah.
a couple of weeks.
Spoiler. He learns that he was already doing all the work anyways.
Yep.
But not before he almost starts the church on fire.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a scene where the rector comes back in through the main doors and there's like a chicken running around and pews turned over. And he's like probably naked and slumped over the altar with a bottle of wine in his hand or something. It's like, oh, rector. And the theme music plays.
Power just went straight to his head.
He became a chicken cultist.
Don't mess with the colonel. But yeah, to a tree.
To a tree. So,
To a tree.
you're on the horse.
Mhm.
There are a lot of trees, both within the city walls and without.
I'm guiding you to a very specific tree.
Outside of the walls.
Yeah.
Are we heading vaguely in the direction of what's his name's home?
Yes.
All right. Katya starts off a little confused and then gradually seems to figure out what's going on.
Give me a
And if you-
riding check, please. It's night, it's cold and a bit snowy. There is a road.
Sure, I
but-
might have that skill.
There's risks involved still. Failure by 2?
Wah-wah.
Yes.
What bonuses have you got there? Only the saddle?
Yeah, it's the saddle and stirrups.
Because bit and bridle also give like a +3, I believe, if you use
Do
the
they
2
really?
ends. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the horse's
that's
mount
there
skill?
also.
Oh yeah, also you've got a right sexy horse that's probably got a mount skill of like 16.
That's also very true.
So, You will be okay, but it's scary for sure, and you can't go as fast as you'd like.
Mhm.
It's going to take. It ends up taking you 3 hours to get there. You're already worried that, it's going to start getting to dawn and you're going to be way outside the city.
Yeah.
But you eventually come to a spot that you recognize, Etho, and you manage to point the way, and you suddenly come upon this huge ancient oak tree.
I reach into the tangle of roots and pull out Acre's sword. That's definitely not where it was. Not where we buried it.
Yeah, you're a good like a mile or two at least away from where Archie buried the sword.
Can you take us to his house too?
I mean, you know where the house is.
It's not very far, but yeah, it's kind of on the way
At
back
this
from
point,
here.
Katya doesn't actually know where we are. She knows
Oh.
we're near the house, but
Okay.
this is your turf. It's the middle of the night.
Yeah, I'll get us there.
All right, Katya's going to take a few more of the sort of notebooks and journals and stuff like that.
When you get there, the place is actually... No, there are more notebooks and journals that can be grabbed.
All right, cool.
Going way
And-
back years.
And she'll say to Etho, "I need to tell them why we came here, where we were."
No.
And then she holds the journals. This is why we came.
Oh, yes. And I take the bed sheet and wrap the sword and scabbard. Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I can give at least the guy's cape back, or I might just keep the cape. It's fancy. I think it's mine now.
This is how nobles work, right? You're allowed to take things from them.
Of course, yeah.
And we will attempt to get back before people worry.
You can either try and take a shortcut or try and cane it on the pony.
Sticking to roads.
Oh,
Prefer to
okay.
ride fast than off-road.
Give me another riding, please.
There we
Oh,
go.
Wow.
Much
Mhm.
better.
The sky is just turning orange in the east as you ride back through the Smith Gate, Iron Gate, Steel Gate.
Whatever, one of the gates.
One
Yeah.
of those gates. Not the salt gate. Salt gate.
Not the Salt Gate, not the Wine Gate, not the Fish Gate.
And we head to home.
Your servants are already getting carts ready as you ride into your own stables.
Mhm.
Mr. Luca looks at you and says, "My lady, what? You aren't in bed?"
No, Mr. Luca. We need to fetch something from across town. Uh, are my things ready?
Yes, you're fully packed.
Do we have time for a bath?
Yes, you should be fine. I would advise as such. Your father hasn't awoken yet.
She nods and starts to hurry in a direction, but glances to Etho to make sure there's nothing else.
Mr.
Let's
Luca
go take
also
bath. I start
turns
walking.
and shouts at someone. "You heard them. They're taking a bath. Go quickly!" And they run in front of you, in through the servants' door.
This day is gonna suck.
At
Yeah.
least you're not actually doing the traveling.
Yeah, we're in a cart. We
that's
can
true.
totally just sleep. That's why I did that. I knew we were going to be taking a cart.
It's going to be a full day's travel in a pretty nice carriage, really.
I was gonna say, if Dad doesn't have a carriage, Katya purchased one recently for travel. Like carriage is the way to go if you can afford it.
But yeah, bath
And
time. We
you,
do the thing.
You bathe, botch it. All your alchemical supplies will have been packed up, ready to be moved.
Did you tell them what the explosives are?
No, of course he didn't. Ev?
Sorry, yes, of course he didn't, and he's mostly packing those with him.
You've got those on your person.
Yeah, as well as some of the
Because
the
the safest place
ointments
for
in case.
nitroglycerin is on your belt.
It's no nitroglycerin. Don't worry, it's not that volatile.
It's Greek fire.
Exactly.
At a certain point, it's better on your belt than 3 feet away.
Yeah, right? It's like, why, like, my reasoning for the nuclear holocaust? Like, I want to be at ground zero.
Nah, mate. I'm in it for the long haul. I want mutations.
Well, I mean, if I could be, like, away, far enough away, but, like,
You can't. I don't think. You're right.
But anyway,
Anyway,
to the card.
yeah, there's not much to be
Cards.
said for this day. Not really many scenes. Jacobus would be riding his horse rather than in the carriage. He's got his eyes peeled on the road constantly all day. Archie, I imagine you're riding kind of with him.
yeah, probably.
Katya usually rides, but she isn't today, which is notably weird for her father, probably.
He's like,
He's not dumb.
yeah, he's not dumb. He's like, rather tired, are you, Cat?
It was the last night. I'll be good. I'll be okay. Just let me sleep.
Too much
I'm probably
wine
asleep on top of the cart.
on top of the car. It's cold.
I'm used to cold. I'm wrapped up in my furs and my blankets and my new cape.
And surrounded by like soft sacks of general goods on top of the cart. Yeah, no, you're good.
Just, like, nestled into the piles.
I
Botch it.
suppose we.
You're probably with like the servants in the back of the wagon. Not going to arrive at Winemouth until a fair bit later than everyone else.
No problem.
What were you saying, Lee?
Nothing significant.
So we get to Winemouth.
It is a cold day. Let me double check the weather very quickly. I think it snowed a bit. Game notes, that's where I'm after. Almanac. Open the link. It's loading. Weather. I pressed the weather button. Where'd it go? Get on with it. So yeah, it's around freezing, just above all day. It does get ever so slightly warmer, and you see some clear blue sky as you're approaching Winemouth. You'd get there in the late afternoon, the front of the party. And this place is kind of built into the side of cliffs that recede pretty viciously into the ocean to the south. It's a grand view as you reach the top of the hills when it starts going down. I don't think you can see those islands, but you might be able to see the land across this bay over here. Definitely while you're at the top and while it's clear. The place is densely built, lots of tiny stone buildings in rows down the inclines, crisscrossing and zigzagging as they stretch down to the seafront. There are lots of big ships in port, including a couple of strange looking ones with colourful sails. One of which is fully sailed up and they're in a completely different shape to the rest of the boats. They're like triangles instead of square.
Yep. Are we leaving tonight, or are we leaving in the morning? Kati will ask the group as we sort of arrive.
I mean, it's a ship. It might as well sail at night.
Your father nods. Tonight. I don't want to stay here too long.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Katya sort of puts her cloak up the way she does when she's trying to lay low while bar hopping.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't usually do that during the day.
Your dad's been being careful as well. Or at least sneaky. He's not wearing his fancy colours, is the main point of the day.
There's levels of careful.
Yeah.
I have a new colorful cape.
You do. To go with your purse.
I do have that fancy purse still.
I think you'd probably head straight for the docks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not room for the carriage, but the horses, definitely, there's room, I imagine.
That's good. There will be carriages in Duntonbury if need be.
Yeah, this boat's got to be massive. It sailed a long way. Probably like a bagala. Probably looks like one of those. What's the bigger one? A Zebek. XEBC. Yes, a Zebek. And Hanley is at the gangplank to greet you all as you arrive at the docks. Seagulls squawking, the smell of fish in the air. The fish market will have just packed up for the end of the day. Seagulls pecking at the innards that litter the stone floor.
We'll try to ignore that part. Sir Hanley, you have a beautiful ship.
Aye, she's a fine one.
Very colorful. I'm not used to that.
He smiles. It's the fashion of the keen sailors.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does this look familiar?
Yep, it does indeed. You've watched lots of boats like this sink.
Well, yeah, but I was a crusader, so I probably
You
seen
were also
lots-
on boats that were sinking at the same time, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a few ballistas, mounted on the deck even.
Jeez.
But they're all kind of packed up, semi-stowed
Sure.
at the moment. And Jacoba says, "How quickly can we depart?" And Hanley says, "Immediately."
Which one's Jacobus?
That
Dad.
one's Papa.
Oh, okay.
And you would be led onto the boat. I wasn't really sure how today we're going to go. Just as a side note.
Okay.
That's fine.
And I wasn't fully expecting this, so that's okay.
That's the pleasures of being a GM.
It's alright. It could still change.
It could still change. We'll see.
All right.
Kashi won't mention it, but Lee feels they need to mention that the servants weren't with us at this point, so we'll have to delay at least a little while.
Oh, that's true. Thank you.
But Katya will definitely not mention that because it doesn't occur to her.
I assume the boat is doing bobbing up and down.
Yes, it's rocking gently in dock.
Okay.
Do you get motion sickness?
I get seasick.
Is seasick a specific one?
Just quirk.
Okay, gotcha. Right. Yeah, otherwise you wouldn't even be able to ride on the carriage. I remember the perils that Obscurococcinaeus cornucopioides alganeo viridescens tremolodendros petistro biomyces faced. So,
Can't believe you still remember that.
well, I'll never forget. I'll never forget.
But
Maybe
yes,
if he plays another mushroom one day, I'll forget when I'll have to learn the new mushroom's name.
but we are bobbing up and down on that boat. I've never been on a boat before, and probably about like 45 minutes, an hour into waiting, I do vomit all over the side of that boat.
So you at least get to the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't get the reach, so it just trails down the side of the boat. Botch it, as you're stepping off the wagon, you're greeted to the sight of Etho's vomit. Like, just forming a big streak down the side of the boat.
Side of the boat. James, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I go up to Hanley and, in Keen Tommy, say, hey, the last time I was on a boat like this, I was watching it sink.
He grins. Let's hope we're the only crusaders on the seas, and no one gets confused.
Let's hope.
She's well armed if it comes to it.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to it.
I sincerely doubt it will.
Knock on the deck twice.
And everyone would come aboard, and I think the order would be given to deport and set sail.
Yay!
So as the sun sets in front of you, Kind is talking in the chat, and he wants to know if everyone has access to see. Get in there and start talking people. But I got 10 points to Lukendor for remembering Spot's full name. And yeah, full crew does have access. They're just lazy and don't. But getting back to it,
Indeed.
you head west into the sunset. Most of you have napped through the day. The ship's cook is a keen fellow, and he prepares a very strange, thick, red stew. It burns the mouth, even when it's cool.
Oh my god, I haven't had this in so long!
But it smells like it's spiced with a pirate's treasure worth of spices. And it's full of subtle fragrances and nuances.
Yeah, this, I believe, Archie just tears into, like, oh yeah.
So Katya starts saying this is amazing and like going into something, but then she sort of trails off, watching Archie just dig into it. How are you doing that?
Your dad's like sweating right bad and mopping his brow. And he's like, it really is delicious, but it's giving me a fever. Have you poisoned me, Hanley? And a bunch of the crew are like laughing, trying not to.
Gone Shandan. Oh, son.
I'll look over at him and grab like a pinch of the salt and put it on some bread before I like dip it. And...
Mm-hmm. You just scoop in massive mounds into your mouth with a flatbread off your plate.
Yeah. Probably just like the entire rest of the crew.
Mm-hmm. And Hanley as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Kachi will try and fail to keep up.
The cook was once a cook for a sheikh in Keem. I liberated him from slavery, and now he works for me. He's practically my master for the money I pay him.
Chuckles. Where do the spices come from? I've never. I mean, they're intense.
Oh. He shouts in Keemtani at a couple of the deckhands. And he says, you understand him, obviously, Archie. Bring up the cinnamon for the lady. And they, nod. And then the chef appears, holding a box wrapped in bright red silk. And he unfurls the silk and opens the box, and it's full of a fine orange powder that just smells.
That smells amazing.
Whoa! And you've had cinnamon before, but there's there's a lot here.
She takes her time to appreciate it.
And the box is closed and wrapped up. And he says, the thing that makes this meal so delicious is, they call it cumin. It's, when they harvest it, it smells like a crusader's armpit, I'll not lie.
Is it used to balance it?
He shrugs. These men are wizards when it comes to the kitchen.
Clearly. Well, thank you for the experience.
And you'd be drinking the wines that you're drinking as well. Everyone would know are amazing. Your dad's had a good 2 bottles by now, and he's pretty wasted on this ship as it rocks back and forth in the night.
It seems like an excellent opportunity to get his permission to continue on from Pitford once he gets off.
He is very soused. I see you all as being in kind of the captain's cabin at the moment. Got one of those big dining tables. It's that scene in Master and Commander where what's his name? Paul something? Pete Townsend?
Have
No.
you learned nothing in the
Russell Crowe?
service of the British Navy?
One must
You must always choose the lesser of 2 evils.
There's a good amount of knee slapping.
Oh my god, it took me the second time I watched it was when I realized oh my god, those guys are hammered. Because I was 16 the first time I watched it.
Yeah, no, same.
Really what I appreciate was that they did good drunk. Sorry,
They really
digesting.
No.
So sick.
Papa, when we get to Pitford, will you be departing there?
Your friends will all be departing at Pitford.
I believe the bishop was going to be taking an expedition to further west.
Oh, right, yes. North March.
She nods.
And he looks over at you as well, Archie, now. And how will this keep my daughter safe from the Layamans?
She'll have my sword at her side.
He bites his lip and kind of swirls his really strong Eastern wine in his goblet. He's like,
Go ahead, Father.
it is far from their jurisdiction, this is very true. But there's nothing in the North March. It's just peasants and farmers and snow.
Bishop Smith, I believe my father is speaking of the Leomans of Linemouth. They wish me ill. Which is
What?
a good reason to not be around here.
Yes.
Yeah, that seems practical. Um,
But why do you want to go to such a place, Gat, when you could be happy at home in Pitford? All my men could keep you safe there for sure. For certain. For sure, he says, as was the style of the time.
I mean, Papa, you know I seek adventure, and if I'm going to do it, I might as well be in the company of stout protectors. And she sort of scans the room.
Scans the room. Botchet almost definitely asleep by this point.
Well, I mean, she's mostly making a point of looking at Hanley, Etho, and
I'm glad you said
Archie.
Etho, because she's
Correct.
Who's
currently
curled over a pot.
Oh, that part of the scan might have been very quick. And did Sarah Burns
Well-
come with us as well?
Burns is following in his ship.
There.
You could see it for a while as the sun set, and then you saw its lights twinkling in the distance, but you can't see him anymore. You've
Mhm.
outpaced him.
But
You-
if I'm going to be somewhere, it might as well be somewhere out of the way, well protected.
Your dad kind of nods slowly.
But we don't have to decide anything tonight. You look tired. We can talk in the morning.
Yes. Yes. He's actually, as he says it, and for the last half of this conversation, he's just been staring at Hanley, who has been, like, staring at Etho and his beloved pot that is being soiled. And he's just kind of nodding slowly as he licks his lips clean of wine. And scene fade. Seagulls sound again. And dawn arrives. You all wake up in your beds or hammocks. And perhaps look out of a hatch to see Dezoot passing you by.
There's a song in that.
The sailors are singing it
There
right
is.
now. Oh, when I was a lad and the zoot passed me by, and I had the RP from the lady I spied. Me lip and me willy was sored, and the seagulls I saw was named no.
All full of gout.
Oh, I diddly die. We're passing by the zoot. And it goes on like that for 53 verses.
Not all sailing ditties are winners.
It all depends on how much grog you've had.
That's true.
And Etho continues to be seasick. Roll me HT, please, Etho. I might feel nice
Yes.
if you get a crit success.
It's just a quirk.
So
But-
Katio does check in on Etho now and again, just enough for it to make it feel worse.
That's a pretty good roll. Yeah, no, you're feeling great one morning, and then Catcher arrives, and as you're trying to have a conversation with her, it's like your face just suddenly gets really hot, You just have to go and throw up again.
over the side of the boat.
Yep.
Sometimes it takes a couple days to get your sea legs. You'll feel better tomorrow, probably. I hope.
Never boat again.
I mean, we need to take the boat from Pitford to Dutenbury. It's going to save us a lot of time.
Fine. Litagacha says so. I do. And we dry heaving at this point.
Concerned, but also backing away. Because, yeah, don't want to rub it in.
Botch it. What are you up to? Day of travel on a boat.
Don't think I could have seen this sickness of trouble before and come up with some sort of concoction for it before.
No, but you know a few things that can settle a nervous stomach. Give me... it depends on if you had them on you. I can confirm I did not type that. I looked at my fingers like, what? Sorry, just a Twitch chat thing.
Sounds fun.
What was I saying? It's completely lost me. The ghost of me has just blown my mind.
Stomach thing. The stomach
Yes.
motions.
I'm just gonna make a roll and see if you've got any of these things in your chemistry set. You've not, but you reckon if you're stopping in Pitford for a little while, you could pick something up.
Then I'm gonna get ready, get a list of what I need, and make sure to get that for Ether so that she feels a little bit better.
Cool. Alrighty.
I'll keep researching whatever I can about these new herbs. Not sure if I could do anything with cinnamon.
Ooh. You could ask to look at some.
Be very
Oh.
expensive.
It would. Like if you...
Sorry.
The quartermaster would speak to you about it once you've made some inquiries. And he's like, the Lord likes it on his foods and in his fragrances, but we have some to spare. And he probably holds up a tiny vial with like half a teaspoon's of cinnamon in, and says like, 2 gold.
He'll take it.
Wow, you just spent $200 on a vial of cinnamon.
Radical. Awesome. Now
Okay,
you're a man of
decent
status.
deal.
Wait, am I able to roll merchant to see if I can get a better deal than that?
You absolutely can. Try and haggle with him.
I don't have a sheet open.
I can roll very quickly, and I know where it is off the top of my head. And you did not roll great, I'm afraid.
Okay, then.
But neither
would
did he.
pay.
So the 2 gold price stays for the tiniest amount of cinnamon you can imagine.
Okay, if I have enough to pay for it, I will. Might come in handy later, like the acid. Who
Let's
knows?
See if you've got enough to pay for it. I'm pretty sure you've not got enough to pay for it. I think all your money might
Sorry.
have got on fancy robes.
Yes, and then
Yeah,
I
I don't think it's
sold
got
a
any
bunch
cash.
more
Oh,
to get
yeah,
more cash.
You've been on the market jobby for like a fortnight. Of course, you've got
Yeah.
some. Yeah, you've got.
If
2
I don't
gold.
have enough, don't worry. Don't. I'll leave it for
No,
later.
you absolutely end up purchasing it, and do you want to do some chemistry on it? Oh, snap.
All right.
Crit success. Botch it.
For
So
chemistry?
I have a stomach cure, then.
Actually, yeah. You know what?
Oh,
You
awesome.
use the cinnamon to calm Etho's stomach. He
Uh,
ma-
I,
he ma- Go on, sorry.
I was gonna say I mix it a little bit with the ointment, the digestible kind,
Okay.
and I tell you to try to have try to eat this, see if it helps.
I see it as like mixing it with sugar and honey, and like telling Etho to suck it.
Probably another root that is good to settle stomachs. Just sugar and
And I'll take it.
And yeah, it's spicy in your mouth when you hold it there for a while, but it tastes good. You have to resist swallowing it a lot, and but it does settle your stomach enough that you're not constantly throwing up.
Still like
Awesome.
queasy and being like unpleasant, but
Yeah, you're definitely still sweaty, eye bags. Only eating like tiny little bits of bread, but other than that, you're feeling good. And
I think Pitford.
yeah, we'll come in on Pitford. I'm not sure of exact time scales for how long it'd take this boat to go from Winemouth to Pitford. James, can you remember how fast boats go?
It really depended, but like you guys were pulling. You were also a really fast. Oh, this is a really fast boat. Like, I mean, you guys were doing 1,000 kilometers in like a week.
Okay. Yeah, I wanna say that there'll be there'll be that full day. You would have woke up a bit later, given how you'd all been party hardying for 2 days, preceded by 2 weeks straight. So around about noon, you passed Dazoo. That full day spent sailing again, and noon on the 3rd of January, you start your approach towards the docks at the outskirts of Pitford. Scenes that would have happened in between. We had the cinnamon cure.
Katya definitely spends some time chatting with. Geez, I need to remember his name.
Ham.
Jacobus.
No,
Oh,
Lord
Hanley.
Hanley.
Oscar. Is it Oscar?
It is Oscar. Yes.
Oscar. All Oscars go to heaven.
Hopefully, we get to the point where I mean, she definitely tells him call her Katya, and hopefully she can call him Oscar. Maybe Sir Oscar.
When you say that he can call you Katya, he smiles really, really wide. And he'll take your hand, if you permit it,
Mhm.
and gently rub his lips against your knuckles. Probably makes your knees buckle. Sorry.
Probably.
Shakespeare would say it makes your knees buckle, but what a fucking idiot he were, right? Which is
What does he know? He's just Shakespeare.
There's one play that just exposes him as a complete numbnuts. I forget which one. It's the one with the "all the world's a stage" quote in it. Stupid Jacques. Someone help me out, yeah. Oh.
I want to say 12th Night, but I think that's wrong.
Yeah, no, I think it's...
Midsummer's Night Dream?
No, I want to say As You Like It, but I think that's also wrong. Just a good prick who writes so many plays. Get on with it. You can get a job, hippie. Right, I've done ranting
I mean, it
about
might be just like
Shakespeare.
Hamlet. Alright, I'm going to look it up later, but not now.
Go on.
Katya will also talk to her dad, but That's probably less important.
It is less important, as you will see from this scene that we're finally going to have. After kissing your hand, he steps back up and he says, Katya, I would be honoured if you would call me Oscar.
Thank you, Oscar.
And it is the morning of coming into Pitford. You kept meaning to speak to your dad all day yesterday about letting you go on, but you couldn't work up the courage.
That makes sense.
But Oscar says now, while he's looking off in the distance towards Pitford docks, I was speaking with the Duke yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that he'd like me to accompany you. You're going north?
She smiles, not hiding that this was obviously what she had planned. We are, yes.
He smiles. He says, You shall have my ship for the mission.
You're extremely kind. Thank you. I'm sure the bishop will thank you as well. She says, knowing that that isn't actually relevant. I suppose we should tell you something about why we're going, though?
I presume
She sort
it's
of looks to him with a, is that important?
the angel?
She nods.
It is like... He nods as well. It's clearly an important goal.
There are some people that we want to speak to about the angel and the mountain in general. But I'm using hushed tones because it's something of a secret.
He raises his eyebrows and nods.
Etho is trusting me in taking us there, and I want to honor that trust and not let her secrets out. Can you respect that?
Ichidoran. He nods. I think I already understand more than you know.
I think you understand more than I understand.
It's really a miracle that, never mind. As you say,
You aren't wrong. You aren't wrong.
I shall keep your secret and the secrets of your friends.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you with my dad.
Although you might tell Lady Etho that there is a girl in the galley she might be able to speak to.
Katya looks in the direction that Etho is standing. Is she standing close enough to be eavesdropping or not?
I imagine you've not stopped being close enough to be eavesdropping, have you, Etho?
No, I'm actually lying on the front of the boat, just going, oh.
There.
Chewing on your thing.
Rude, yeah. So I am not eavesdropping for once.
Does this girl have a name?
Yes, Thori. I just pulled that off the top of my head, but it's probably
Still
from
a good
something.
name. Sorry, thank you.
She washes clothes.
Katya nods.
She was one of the old crew's daughter. He died. I don't think she had any other family. She stayed on. The quartermaster says she works well.
Oh, it's good of you to keep her on. I hear that not everybody does that.
No, in fact, it was once rather scandalous to have a woman on a ship at all. Bad luck, you see.
Even I'm old enough to have heard that one. There's a reason I ride more than sail.
He smiles. 'Tis a myth. I would tell
But I
you
take it,
stories of the fiercest pirate crews, entirely women, if you'd believe me.
well, I certainly believe that men would find them the most fearsome. She smiles.
He just looks confused. You've got him. That goes straight over his head.
Fair.
And the boat
Well,
docks in Pitford.
Katya is going to let Ethan know about the girl downstairs, who's I've already forgotten her name of.
Thori.
Thori.
Better write that down somewhere.
I will add a character right now.
I will actually wander down to there.
Yep, you would find her over a soapy bucket washing people's clothes.
Hey, show.
Her eyes like suddenly focus as she looks up at you.
Ah, there's that translation.
She responds appropriately in Ituni.
I don't know her, do I?
No, you've never seen this girl before. She's never seen you before. And she looks very confused by your outfit and general look in particular.
Where you from? Or where are you from? I'll have to speak in broken.
Where are you from? Her accent is still quite strange. I am from the Great Plains, the usual place, where we all wander. You're also from the Great Plains? You're a wanderer.
No, I'm the original from here.
Her eyes kind of widen. You see her hairs stand on end.
I'm not one of the Kajo.
Kajo.
Submitting it. One sec. Although she probably doesn't know that word.
Probably not.
Burp.
You know, she like shakes her head. The killers.
Yes.
She shakes her head again. She's like, no, the Crusaders. They hate the Keem. They let us wander.
Not if you're from original, from here. Then they murder all and curse you.
So, myth is true? There are wanderers north.
Not wanderers, but yes.
And you are cursed?
Yes.
Myth is true. My father told me often, many time, story. Wanderers are old, oldest people. Older even than ancient Keem. But we never built cities that destroy things. We always wander. Live free, let land grow back. some went north to try this. But it
And the
didn't work.
Kajo arrived, slaughtered us en masse, and cursed all of our boys to die in womb.
We ask Lord to bring you home.
The gods did not hear you.
No, she shakes her head. And she points above deck. We'll ask Hanley to take you home.
Already going home. You wish to come with? Sister's glad for new sister.
She just bites her lip and she's like nodding. Yes. I would see the legendary Northern Wanderers.
Good. Be ready in when we get to Dunbury. Duntbury? How do you pronounce this?
Dunterby.
Dunterby. Thank you. Etho will also stumble over that word.
She just nods and says, I have many clothes to wash, but I would like to hear more.
I think for the next X amount of time, even past Pitchford, I'm hanging out down here chatting.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to talk in my native language in like 6 years.
Exchange begins. You learn the history of yourselves. Trapped across continents. The myths that she talks about speak of lots of wanderers living all over the place, but then getting split up because the gods got angry at the Crusaders arriving. And some groups that got trapped in the north were cursed and presumably died out immediately. But no, and now she's very excited to see.
So yeah, I've taken up enough time.
Alrighty. The ship will be stopping in Pitford overnight before it continues. I've not got a map for Pitford ready yet, but
I mean, that's just a stop, right?
yeah, I also think this is probably a good stopping time. I did make it clear to players earlier that I can't go very long today. Oh no, not yet. Let's go for another 20 minutes at least.
I mean, yeah, you said 3 hours.
Yeah, I can go a while longer. Yeah, what about that?
I don't feel the need to go into too much detail, but Katya's happy to sleep in her own bed, and her room sort of themes My Little Pony, probably.
Yeah, also there would be opportunity to meet Katya's brother and mum. I've not got a picture for your mum, unfortunately. She's an amorphous blue blob.
That's okay.
But I have got a picture for your brother. I could not find someone who looked 10 years old, so he looks old for 10.
It's hard to do. That's okay.
I mean, maybe he just had a growth spurt when he was like 10. We have a friend who had a full beard by the time he was like 11.
Oh, yeah, no, I knew kids like that. There were someone who moved from the Lebanon, and someone once asked him, like, why have you got a beard and hair all over your chest? And he just, like, looked at him and said, because God loves me.
Good answer.
Yeah. Rabin were amazing.
Yeah, introductions are done all around. Absolutely. It's a nice short day trip.
Mm-hmm.
I size Etho's mom up. Or not Etho's, Katya's mom up.
She is, I don't know. What's your mum like, Katya?
She wasn't originally a noble. She was a wealthy merchant's daughter initially, but I honestly probably kind of boring and like sort of a nice person, not super. Yeah, like doting. Like she's a mom.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much what I were going for. I think.
I mean,
Uh,
she could easily be something else also, but that's all that Kachi knows.
she's just a
I
bit.
mean, honestly, I would think with your dad being a powerhouse, like he would totally be more attracted to the woman who helped him rule.
Totally
Probably.
works for me.
Yeah.
Like instead of boring, like I mean, if he married
A
like
wealthy
beneath
merchant's
himself,
daughter.
yeah,
It'll be
like
for a reason. Yeah, I bet your mum was like a mathematical genius or something, and some kind of trade mogul, and like your dad's amassed a lot of wealth because he married your mum, and she had amazing ideas for
That he
I
took
thought-
all the credit for.
capitalizing.
I fully expect they both have interesting lives that Katia is completely oblivious to.
The Keem strap. Silence.
But yeah, you could probably take her in a fight.
I mean, not fighting. Fighting is not the only metric for good, strong woman.
Oh, everyone would be talking in Aldresh as well, so you
Oh
wouldn't
shit!
catch
I don't
the
know
yeah.
shit that's going on.
Ethelwald especially. He'd be like, "Oh, sister, glad you're back. Oh, I missed you. Look what I made."
Oh, it's been so long.
Oh,
so you're
yeah.
a Welsh.
Oh no, I should go like oh,
It's Dutch, but I don't know Dutch at all.
no, me either. Oh, how about them Vikings, eh? Like, sister, how's it going?
Hmm.
Out of character. Saying some Swedish to me.
Or at least the Swedish chef, Bort. Don't worry, it will work.
Can we not do the accent though?
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's just
Uh-huh.
It's just too hard.
And it is generally a grand reunion. There are, in fact, letters awaiting Archibald Smith.
Archie, you got mail. You
Oh.
got mail.
Sorry, distracted momentarily.
One sealed with the cathedral
Aha!
stamp.
I guess I open it.
It's from the clerk.
Okay.
He wants to know a few things. He asks a question about he asks about 20 questions about 20 different parishioners that you have become aware of over the festival 2 weeks, but you still only recognize half the names in the list. And it's because they talk to you after every mass. It's like the old and especially pious people that just come up to try and talk to the bishop constantly.
I'll just send them a note that says, like, yeah, let them talk for long enough that they feel heard, and then, politely dismiss them.
There is one of them whose will you were meant to be writing, and you've not done it.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, don't worry, dude. And you got that.
I'll take it.
Oh,
Like, I mean, for real, how much better at that could Archie be? Like, actually, no. I'll how many wills have you dictated? Like, written the dictation to? So, I mean, it's the same thing. You know what's up. Like, just now you're doing the thinking too.
I'm sure he'll be happy with that response. There is also a royal sealed note, scroll, letter.
Pop that open.
Jacobus is interested in that one as well. It's also been stamped with the Winemouth's Archdeacon's seal. It seems like he travelled back to Salt Dock recently.
Okay.
Probably while you were on a boat. He was probably expecting to see you.
On a boat. On a boat.
The letter says... Are you reading this out loud?
Sure.
Jacobus is listening intently. What am I on about? My mouth's all over the place today. My brain's not connected to it anymore. Your talk of angels returning has incensed feelings in the public. The riches at Thanato are too much to ignore as well. It's been decided that the Frost Veil will be bolstered, and as soon as the weather shows signs of breaking, they're going to head to make a base camp at Thanato, with a view to having people try to climb it. They ask that you return or meet there as soon as possible, given your experience and your claims that you now need to verify.
Okay.
Text back. XX. King and Archdeacon. Love you.
Yeah, just send him
K.
yeah, pretty much. Like, okay.
So, it's quite a heartwarming scene between Katya and her family, I'm sure.
Hmm. She does genuinely like all of them. Like her dad gets on her nerves sometimes, but like all dads do.
Botchet probably buys a bunch of stuff off a bunch of people. Probably. Botchet's still without a proper network interface device.
Right. Does Sarah Burns arrive eventually?
He would, yes. He'd show up that evening. Hanley's been spending a lot of time with you, by the way, as well. Sat next to you.
I believe it. Absolutely. He's aware that this is his window.
But I believe your mother, Duchess Elaine, will be taking up most of his time for the dinner. Questioning him on everything.
Great.
Your ma's a great interrogator as well.
That part Katya definitely knows and isn't happy about.
She's a witch.
She has got a few grey hairs going on. True sign of a witch.
I was actually just quoting an anime that Tara and I just watched.
Oh, what anime?
Sorry, what now?
What was that anime?
Which anime?
She's a witch.
She's a witch.
Oh, Erased.
Erased.
Recommend?
Highly.
Good to know. Cobalt Cafe recommendations. Erased.
Oh, I got some. If you ever need, this is why we need a podcast. But anyway, let's get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Koi.
But yeah, I think there's heartwarming family time,
Mm-hmm.
and then a departure in the morning.
Yeah. The ship would get stocked back up with things it needed. People's horses would be given some time on land and fed a crap ton. Archie's especially. Your horse is a big boy. Oh, go on, Butchett.
Would I have been able to get all the new ingredients that I needed?
Most likely.
All right.
You weren't after that much. Is there anything particularly fancy you wanted to try and do?
Not really. I'm trying to research and keep to what I know right now until I can find something more useful to the party. Firebombs and healing is working so far.
Okay. Yeah, you absolutely managed to pick up the other things you needed, and you probably managed to sell a few things as well.
All right.
You probably end up breaking even on ingredients and sales and banter with herbalists.
All right.
Oh, Etho.
Listen.
You're invited to this meal. You've been forced to dress nice for it, but you're there. Archie too.
I mean, my stomach's settled now that we're off the demon craft.
Oh, Archie, you're definitely being talked to by Ethel Ward.
Who dat?
The young boy, Katya's
Oh, okay.
younger brother.
Katya's 10-year-old brother.
Aha.
You're a crusader.
That I am.
That is a fine sword you have. How many screaming savages have you killed with it?
I think Archie's eyes go kind of intense. Like, gotcha, you might have seen the look, actually. The one that screams, I will hit you!
The curate says that their army's 1,000 strong, but they're untrained, and a crusader can cut through hundreds in a minute.
Well, boy, the curates are wrong. Well,
Does Ethelward get
the right-
telling?
They're right about their armies being 1,000 strong, but they are well trained, and though they might not be as heavily armored, they are very fast, and they are very skilled with their swords. Every inch of ground you take from them costs in blood dearly. Do not underestimate them, and they are not savages. Though they may differ, they have a very rich and strong culture.
Hanley had heard this conversation. I think everyone's been listening.
Hmm.
Because
Have
it
they
got a
been
bit-
speaking in the bad language or one I can understand?
It's Eldresh, the one you can understand.
Okay.
And Lord Hanley starts singing a song in Keem. It's
Ooh.
like yeah, everyone just pauses to listen. Let's see how good
Mhm.
a job he does. A decent, and the song itself is just really honey lyrical.
I join.
Awesome. You're even better. You get harmonies going.
Ha ha!
When you finish, Duchess Elaine starts clapping, and a few of the servants at the sides of the room do as well.
So does Katya.
Does dear sweet dad get angry that I just told his boy off?
No?
No, okay.
He smiles and nods, and he says, after you're done in the north, I wouldn't perhaps mind having you educate the boy some more, Your Holiness. It seems the curate's been filling the boy's head with cotton.
I just picked up a job.
You've already got a job, you numbnuts.
I know, right?
He doesn't like that job.
That's true.
Yeah.
You got options.
Yeah, I got some options now. But I'll see what I can do.
And then your conversations with a child develop into educating and putting right. This curate sounds like a right prick, though. You feel like you want to have a meeting with him in the morning just to slap him bad a bit.
I mean, if Katya's any example, he doesn't spend a lot of time educating the kids around here about religion.
No. That's
Just
true.
bigotry.
That's all his religion lessons are bigotry. He's pretty good at some things. Blah, 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 bloop. The evening will come to a close. You'll get nice beds to sleep in. Not on a swaying boat. Sickathor.
Ugh, I sleep. I pass out as soon as. Yeah. It's not a terrible. I imagine my FP right now is awful.
Oh yeah, it's probably like hovering around just below half.
Yeah. Just from lack of sleep.
Mm-hmm. Laying in bed with like that room spin feeling.
Yeah.
Where if you open your eyes, everything zooms in while the camera pulls back.
Ugh.
And then if you close them, your body rotates, getting ever faster until you approach light speed. And every minute that passes for you is 1,000 years for relative observers.
But actually, Katya probably beats me waking up for once.
Crazy.
Huh.
And yeah, probably.
You would be in a separate room. And
Yeah.
yeah, you'd have... yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, fine breakfast would be served. Hanley looking as prim and fine as ever. Sipping his breakfast wine.
I come in, furl my new cape, sit down next to him and in between him and Katya, just to be an asshole.
He's probably already forgot about the cape. Ichidoran, you'd say.
Ichidoran.
I look forward to... what's it called again? The challenge?
Smile. As do I.
Don't look at me, I'm still trying to figure out the language.
I will inform him, by the way. Oh, yes. I ironed your washer. She is my companion now.
Ah, good. He spoke with Thori.
Yes.
You understand now,
Somewhat.
as do I. And
What you don't know filled entire continent.
couldn't that be said of us all? He laughs. And then he kind of nods at Katya across the table. And he says, your secrets are my secrets. And I have promised Lita Katya that they will not be betrayed.
Thank you, Oscar. It's very kind of you.
I'll finish my food and then begrudgingly head to the docks.
Rightio. And everyone else heading to the docks and Garen on the boat, or you getting left behind in Pitford?
Getting on a boat.
To the boats.
Getting on the boat and, if possible, giving Etho more medicine.
Mm-hmm. Goody, good. Let's roll a 3d6. Ooh, that's not as good, but it's good enough based on yours. Yeah, by the end of the day by the end of this day of sea travel, so it's a pretty rough one for you, Etho. But you get given some much more effective medicine,
Okay.
and you will be
I'm still
almost. Yeah, when you wake up, it's horrible, and Botchet tells you it's not safe to have too much, probably.
I still probably overdo it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I think you end up like just going a bit mental, that you gain lunacy for the afternoon. Just like sat staring at a bird that's perched on the railing, and then you just burst out laughing, and then you start crying
possible.
immediately. Go on.
If possible, could it be instead the effect that you would get from like having a lot of cough syrup or
That's what I
like
was saying. Yeah, this is like a
yeah.
codeine thing.
Yeah, pretty
Just a little
much.
like
drunk.
like she feels drunk, has sort of pseudo hallucinations if she overdoes it.
Yeah, that's even better. Yeah. And you're probably talking to Thori all day again.
Yeah.
And so I just bet you get these like vivid visions almost of the stories she's telling you.
We're sharing. I'm giving very drunk stories back.
Oh yeah, like super chatty. Uh-huh. Very good.
It's probably the most you've ever heard me talk, if anyone ever walks by that door.
Yeah, when people go past,
Hmm.
you just hear Etho rambling in Ituni.
I think Archie totally gets that. Like, oh God's native tongue.
Yeah,
She found somebody who speaks her language.
I bet there were plenty of long times where you didn't know anyone that spoke Eldresh.
I mean, we were crusading. There probably is those times.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Well, I do want to be honest in that spent on plan for the rest of the session.
We probably
Pirate attack? Pirate attack?
I think probably get to Duntsbury,
Yeah,
and then we can call it. 'Cause
I believe
we're
it
playing
will
again this weekend.
take another 2 days, and yes, this needed to be a shorter session. It was going to get called off, but all afternoon I was just like, I want to play my game.
Fair enough.
What are you doing?
Isabella has got a dog grooming first aid exam.
Oh, cool.
She's going to have
Nice.
to bandage a dog's leg.
Aww.
When we went to like the open day for that dog grooming course, they have these CPR dummies of dogs.
Oh my God!
Wow.
That's adorable.
And they're so realistic, some of them. And I just walked past and they were this table and I saw these like 4 legs poking up and I was just like, there's a dead dog here! And then I looked and I was like, wait a minute. But then we saw as well as the super realistic ones, there's ones that are legit just like an IKEA plush. But yeah, it's pretty cute. Well,
But yeah, I mean we get there, we disembark, and we'll pick up Sunday.
mm-hmm.
That way, plans can be made as to what the game is. Then we can determine what we do when we disembark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the plan is to go
Where Etho tells you to fucking go.
this way.
Yep. I suspect at least Luke knows which way she's going to take us.
Yeah, it's probably that way that she said.
We're gonna wind up popping back into the Frostveil, and they'll be like, "What the fuck?"
Yep. It doesn't matter now, but at some point, we are going to ask whether or not going this way will beat the other group to the mountain. But that won't matter until later.
We're not heading to that mountain. We're heading to other mountains. But yes, we're heading back into the mountains.
Some of these things are on the GM layer. For people that might not realize, I'll just adjust the open.
Oh,
So-
fair. Are the viewers seeing things that we aren't?
They are.
I have a question.
Does you?
So, are we like far enough north that this arc matters?
You actually might be.
Like, because that might just actually wind up being a straight line, depending on how north we are.
You're not that north.
Okay.
That'd be impressive. But I think, like, maybe you're so far north that is a straight line.
Okay.
Far enough that and that are that and that are roughly the same.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, kinda. Actually, kinda.
'Cause I suspect we're going to take a barge or something up the river and then start off from the end of that.
Mm-hmm. The Dunter is pretty wide for a long ways, and it's kind of warm in North March compared to the Frostvale and Rochelbaugh.
It's far enough west that it's sort of the ocean warming.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of, this bay is really vicious, viscous,
Mm-hmm.
powerful maelstroms and eddies.
Kind of suggests that the west side of these mountains are snowy and then the east are super cold, which I dig.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, I'd say.
Of
But-
course, with our mountain right in the middle with both.
Mm-hmm. But any scenes that anyone would like before we disembark the mortal plane and join the spirit realm once again, commune with
Not me.
Satan like we do after game every night?
Not me. I think I'm going to be hogging things next week or this Sunday. So
Okay.
Nope, nothing that can't wait.
No, I got nothing.
Right.
Cool.
I think you are safe to depart our world.
Thanks very much for watching.
we are gonna be way earlier this Sunday. So if you want to watch, you're probably gonna have to watch the recap or the get up, because we are playing what, 5 hours? No, 10. How many
10
10
earlier?
hours?
10
hours earlier, yeah.
On Sunday. This Sunday
we usually
we
do.
will be playing this at 1500 UTC. 0900 PST? 0800 PST?
I think it's 800.
7. It's
7. It's
700.
gonna be 7 for us.
Oh wow, cool.
KST is 5.
Ah, fair.
I can make it an hour later if you like.
Oh no, we can get up at 7.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that works.
It's our turn.
Like,
Sleepy
I
guys
get up
time.
at 7. Like,
It's your day off though, you know?
Whatever.
Yeah, but on my day off, I get up at like
8 or 9 is the latest. you
yeah.
get.
Oof. You're doing it wrong. You need to vamp it up like me.
I have such a hard time sleeping that late.
Have you
Like-
been Have you been drinking blood?
No,
Well, there's your problem.
like no.
Anyway, outro credits.
I'm Luke. I'm the GM. I drink blood. I'm not a vampire yet, but I will be one day if I drink enough blood. With us today, we had James, who's not been drinking blood, despite his doctor prescribing it to him.
Yeah, health benefits, James.
Yeah, sure. I'm James. I played Archibald Smith, the Crusader, and I made a singing check this evening.
You did.
Archibald Smith, bishop, singer, educator, all-around hot guy. We had Everoth.
He was playing
Hello.
despite not having a computer.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Just doing my best. Also, to answer one of the questions on chat from before, yes, we know what Grog is. Yes, he is also a character.
Hey,
Today I'm playing for you, Grog, the peg leg.
Exactly.
Grog. We had Tara.
Hey, I played Etho. You learned quite a bit for backstory today from talking to a native. Yeah.
Mhm.
I look forward to this Sunday. Also, I need to be plugging this more. I have a book.
Tara
You
got
should
a
read
book.
my book.
Read Tara book.
it was a
Read my
good book.
What's your book called?
It is, yeah. It's called Another Online. All Hail the Queen. Available on Amazon, and soon as Audible pulls its head out of its ass, it'll be available on Audible.
Ooh.
It's a really good book.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we had the star in my eyes, Lee.
Yeah, well, we're leaving civilized territory, so that's going to change shortly. Hi, I'm Lee. I'm play Katya, and somehow she's turning an episode of The Bachelorette into a polar expedition. So that'll end well.
Well, thanks very much for watching. Join us on Sunday if you can. Otherwise, catch the recap on YouTube with the Kobold Cafe. You can go to our website, thekoboldcafe.com. Find us on Twitch and Twitter at Kobold Cafe. Thanks for watching. Say bye, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.